Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. My name is Tammy, and if you own a small business that serves your local community, then you are in the right place. Today, I want to talk about people that feel as if the biggest need in their business is more customers, more clients. They need more people. Let me back up here for 1 second. I don't have a lot of time for social media. And one of the things that I kind of cut out over the last few months was going to Facebook and trolling around and looking at things and whatnot. Left Facebook for several different reasons, but I recently went back because I do have a group over there on Facebook, the Badass Business Owners, and I realized I was not serving them correctly by not being on there. But I knew I'd get sucked back into Facebook and looking at different things. Well, one of the things I was doing the last few days is I started poking around some of the different groups that I belong to that are set up for small businesses and small business owners like yourself, because I wanted to see, hey, what's been the latest of what people are talking about? Is it the same old, or is there something new going on there? Because it helps me know what I need to do to try to help you guys. Well, what's interesting is in several of these different groups, the question basically is that I saw most often was, what's the biggest pain point in your business? What keeps you up at night? People basically seeking out to find out information. Here's what stood out to me. The number one thing that I kept seeing over and over from small businesses who would be answering these questions is, I need more customers. I need more clients. I need more sales. I need all these different things. So basically it all came down to people needing more people to use their business. So obviously, their business either wasn't growing the way they wanted it to, or they were struggling to keep going and growing the business, or maybe they were just stuck spinning their wheels. It just wasn't taking off the way it should. A variety of different reasons. One of the things that we feel is we need more sales. Now, you've heard me talk about over the last few weeks, one of the things you need to focus on isn't necessarily that you need more people, but you need to focus on profit. Because if it comes down to you need to make more money, it's easier sometimes, not always, but you need to focus on what makes profit, not necessarily what makes sales. Because if you go out and you get $20,000 at 10% is going to be very different than you creating $20,000 in sales at 25%. You're going to make a heck of a lot more money, and therefore you do not need as many new sales. But I have a lot of different thoughts that I wanted to share with you. Not a lot. I'm not going to go on for hours. All right, you know me. I could if I wanted to, but that's not what we're going to do here. What I want to point out is a couple things. One, when I was reading the answers and reading the folks that were talking about it, one of the things that I kept hearing is these guys were already defeated. There were a bunch of folks through these various different groups and these different threads that I was reading that they were already defeated in their mind. It was a lost cause. They couldn't grow the business and everything else. So the very first tip that I want to give you is you've got to quit. It's a mental game. Okay. And you have to believe that you're going to get more customers, and you have to believe that you're going to grow your business. Because if all the energy that you're putting out there is, I can't, it's not going to happen, people don't know about me, they're never going to reach out to me, it's so hard to find new people, it's hard to find people that don't want to have the cheapest stuff, it's all negative that's coming out of your mouth about your business, then of course you're not going to grow, because what you keep putting out there is that it's not going to grow. So one of the very first things that I need you to stop doing is coming at this. The solution is not in the negative. The solution is in the positive, and it's in the steps that you take. But at the end of the day, it all starts with mindset. And that's why I'm putting it number one. Because if you sit there and you say, oh, it's not going to do this, it's not going to do that, it's not going to do this. And even if you do take the right steps and you do the right things, honestly, it's still not going to grow. Because one, you're never going to see it because you're looking at everything through a negative Nelly look standpoint, if you will. And so even if you were to gain, let's just say 5 new customers in a week, you'd be like, oh, it's not 10. First thing that I've got to tell you is if you are stuck in a negative mindset about growing your business and about getting new customers, maybe it's you. Maybe you are repelling people from wanting to do your business because it's a negative. You may not realize this, but I think if you started paying attention, let me do it this way. Have you ever walked into a room or met somebody for the very first time and you could just feel the vibe and just like, wow, there's something about that guy. There's something about that girl. There's something about them I can't quite put my finger on. what you're reading is the energy, okay? You're reading the energy or something about them that's not quite right. And the same flip side, you've gone up to people and you've met them and they've been so energetic and so exciting and just everything about them. And you're like, wow, I just get such a great vibe off of them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're an extrovert or introvert or anything like that. It's just people are very negative. I've got people in my life that are very negative and I have to get away from them in about 5-10 minutes because otherwise it just starts draining me. I don't want you to be that negative person in your business, okay? Maybe the reason that you can't get more clients is because you don't see the positive and you don't see the good of what's happening in your business. Therefore, you cannot do more of that. Because one of the things that we do to grow our business is when we do something right or we see something working, we do more of it. And if you're always looking at the problem from a negative standpoint, you're not going to see those good moments. You're not going to see those things that are working. Therefore, you're just going to continue to tumble into it's not growing. Now, I know that sounds weird, but it is so true. I have watched more people stop their business from growing because they cannot get past themselves and seeing it as everything as a negative thing. There's some business owners that I work with today that are very negative. And I don't even know why they bother even asking me questions or my thoughts because they've already made up their mind that something's not going to work or that nobody's ever going to use them or they're never going to grow. And if somebody hasn't called them in 2 days, that maybe for some reason they no longer want to use them. I mean, it just needs to stop. So the first thing I'm rattling on, you got to watch your attitude, okay? The second thing is you got to do something. Because the other group of people that I notice or trends that are on there is that people don't really, they kind of say, well, if I tell one person, they should automatically go tell 10. That's not the way it works. We want to build a business that one person wants to go out and tell 10, but that's not the way that it works. So what we need to do is we need to go out there and we need to create that excitement around our business where somebody wants to go tell 10 people. Your business is going to grow by you taking action, by you doing things. So maybe one of the ways that you're doing it is word of mouth, in which case you need to get the word out to as many people as you can about your business. If I was to ask you, have you done your Google page yet? Or on Bing? Can people even find you? But you know what's funny? People who want more business, a lot of times they haven't even done the most common thing, the thing that we tell people they need to do. People are never going to use you if they can't find you. I mean, what do you think? Someone says, oh, you know what? I really need somebody to do this for me. I should go look behind every closed door and every shut window. Then I'll be able to find them. No, that's not the way it works. They're not going to go searching for you. This isn't a game of hide and seek. Your business is not going to grow by you sitting in some closet hoping that somebody's going to open the door. That's not the way that it works. You're going to have to get out there and let people know that your business exists. And you're going to do that by creating that Google page so that people can find you when they go to search for what it is that you do in your business, okay? Second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your face out there, whether you're going to get it out there on Facebook and you're going to start going through all of the local community pages and letting people know who you are, being part of the community. That doesn't mean hitting them over the head with a sledgehammer, telling them, hey, I do this, I do this, I do that. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. You make sure that when they hover over your name and they start stalking you, that they can see what it is that you do, but you be part of the community. And what you're going to do is you're going to go out there and you're going to shake hands, kiss babies, and meet people. If you're an extrovert or you're an introvert, you might have different ways of going about it. Okay. The extroverts, you need to get out there and need to start meeting people. That's what you love to do anyways. Get out there and start letting people know what it is that you do. And make sure you have dialed down what it is that you do, that your elevator speech, and that you can tell people what pain point you solve, okay? You need to get them to remember you. And if you're an introvert, you need to get everything online working, because if you're not going to get out there and start shaking hands, you're going to have to go to plan B. And plan B is blasting the internet and getting the word of mouth out about your business so that when people go searching online, they can find you. So you need to do that. There's a different approach for different people. There's a lot of different ways to do it. The other thing you need to do is if you got an established business and you're trying to grow it and you can't figure out why it's not, because you need to look in the mirror and you need to ask yourself, what are people saying about your business? Are they saying you're priced right? Are they saying that you do what it is that you say you're going to do? Is the quality of the work that you do really good? If you have people, are your people representing you the way that they should? You need to take a hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, why are the people that you are doing work for not bragging about you, not telling other people about you. You need to ask yourself that. Let's say you want to grow your business and you've decided to do, postcards. Okay. You can't send one set of postcards and then when nobody reaches out to you, throw your hands up and say, well, that didn't work. That's not how postcards work. I hate to tell you this. If you're going to commit to postcards, you're committing to at least 6 postcards in the coming year to be able to get that out to people, which means you don't go blast your entire city with postcards. Go find a subdivision or 2 and blast those areas over and over and over. People don't need you till they need you. Okay. So just because you do it once and done, that doesn't mean it worked or it didn't work. You don't know. You don't know if they put it on their fridge for later. Okay. You don't know if they've filed it in the back of their head. If all of a sudden they need their water heater replaced, guess what? Whoever's the next person in line who they see, their eyeballs see, guess what? That's who they're going to give a call for the water heater. So unless you've established yourself as the water heater guy in town, you're not going to be the one that they call. I know I'm throwing out a lot of different stuff. And I guess the main thing that I want to try to get across after reading some of those posts is it's not everybody. Okay. There are some of you that honest to God are working your butt off and you're staying in tune. You're making the tweaks to your online presence, your physical presence, and you're still trying to grow your business. That's a different bucket of people. That's not who this episode was meant for. What this episode is meant for are people that are stuck in a mindset that they're never going to grow their business and they're just being negative and they're just putting it out there. And for those that are doing nothing. Okay, folks, your business is not going to change if you don't get off your butt and go do something. Okay, so you need to check your mindset and you need to make sure that you're doing something. That's the way it works. I hate to tell you this. If you think you're going to grow your business by sitting on your butt and not doing anything, then you might as well close up shop now because that ain't going to happen. You might as well go back and get yourself a 9-to-5 job or an overnight job stocking or something like that. It doesn't really matter because it just means that you're never going to grow a business if you're not willing to do the work. Okay, no one said owning your own business and growing your own business is going to be easy. Whoever told you that lied. Now, you might see people who make it look easy, but I can guarantee you it's not easy even for them. I know I'm rattling and I know I'm going on and on, but there's some of you who are listening that are meant to have this message, and I need you to understand that if you really, truly, honestly want to grow your business and you want to make more money and you really want your business to be successful, please start with these 2 things, okay? Start with your mindset. Make sure that you would listen to yourself. Listen to what comes out of your mouth. Is it from a negative standpoint or is it from a positive can-do standpoint? And then I want you to look at what it is that you're doing. Are you doing the steps necessary in order to grow your business? And if you are, then we can move on to stage 2. But for every single person who's listening, you need to have a positive can-do attitude. You need to believe that you can. I'm not going to say that you can't have 5-minute pity parties, and I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to have moments of where it's not working. But they're moments. They're not ongoing long-term things, because if they are, there's a bigger problem at stake. Okay, there's a bigger problem that we need to deal with other than that. But for now, I want you to go out there and I want you to have a positive can-do attitude, and I want to make sure that you're doing something, that you're making sure your online presence is really strong and that you've claimed your name and that you're out there talking to people. And I want to make sure that you're not sitting around waiting for the business to happen for you. Now, what I'm probably going to do is come up with some more ideas for marketing for you to grow your business for the next episode. It'll either be the next episode or the one after that. I'm not sure yet, but we'll continue to find ways for you to grow your business, to find more customers. But honestly, if we don't have a good foundation from the beginning, it ain't going to happen. So with that, I'm going to stop rattling and I will talk to you on the next episode. In the meantime, what I want you to do is I want you to check your attitude and make sure that you've claimed your business online and that you're doing the basics and setting a really good foundation for your business. All right, with that, I am out of here. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owner, before you go, as you know, I'm a huge believer in you knowing your business numbers. After all, it isn't about how much you sell. It's about what you keep. And the best way to grow your profits is to start diving in and understanding those business numbers. To help you on this journey, I have created the Know Your Business Numbers course. We will walk through how to read your profit and loss statement. You'll learn the key calculations that'll help ensure that you're making a healthy profit on all of your products or services, plus a ton of other good stuff that'll help you learn how to use those business numbers to create even more sales and profits. Just check out the link below in the show notes or visit knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. So if you're ready to increase those profits, it's time you start diving into your business numbers.